Hello and welcome back to I Hate Golf. It's Awesome, a podcast presented by Eat Golf. My name is Caleb Eberly, and sitting across the table from me again, finally, is the star of the show, Mark Eberly. How's it going?
That would be me. It's going great.
Good.
After a little surgical layoff.
Surgical layoff. Do you want to tell the people what happened, or just leave it a mystery?
Had a little eye retina tear that I had to get taken care of. Still recouping, but yeah, kind of came out of nowhere. Had no idea what it was, and apparently had a pretty good doctor, and he's taking care of it, so we're healing. Good.
Yeah, that's definitely not a pulled muscle or a broken arm or something that you can, this happened and then this happened. I don't really know how an eye retina tear even happens.
Well, it's like my concern was kind of, I'm always asking, what are the benefits of what you're going to do, and what's the downside? Well, if you do nothing, your option is probably just to go ahead and lose your vision. So that kind of ended that option. So we just went forward, and looking down at 3 golf balls was a little challenging.
I usually look down and see no golf ball, so that might be a little bit worse. You had that going on. Golf tried to kill me, hurt my back, and then found out there's a thing called sun poisoning or sun rash or something. So I haven't been playing much golf lately, but I'm getting back out there now, so that's nice. It's nice to get back into a little bit of a rhythm. I don't think it's hurt my game too much, taking a little time off, but
yeah, since there's no fall football to sit home and watch.
Yeah. Normally this would be right about my favorite time of the year, and doesn't really seem like it's going to be much of a fall for me. So I guess I'm going to have to pick an SEC school to root for, or
good luck with
just
that one.
root against all of them, I guess. I don't know.
Can they tie
is
every
Vanderbilt
time?
still in the SEC? Because I'm going to be a big Vanderbilt fan this year.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Northwestern of the SEC.
Maybe a little worse. But hey, Northwestern did get to a Big Ten championship like 2 years ago. I don't think Vanderbilt's ever been to an SEC championship.
About what happened once they got there, though.
That's a little less important. So we are here today. We are at Spessard Holland. We are sitting in the pro shop. Might be a little odd that we're sitting in the pro shop, but we are here because they are actually closed today. They're airifying all the greens. They're going to be closed for the full day, back open tomorrow, stuff like that. Pretty standard. How often do most golf courses airify?
Most golf courses do it twice a year.
Yeah.
I know a couple of times. A lot of it's based on the ground, the location, the part of the country. Standard is twice a year. Mm-hmm. If it's been let go for a while, you might be more aggressive. I got to the point where at one of my golf courses, it was best if we did it once a year.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and hopefully we'll get to discuss that topic before too long, that everyone hates it. Because you just got the greens perfect and you go dig them up. You hear that over and over and over. Yeah. That's because golfers don't really understand the cycle you have to go through.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that's really, really public knowledge. And actually, in the second half of this podcast, you're going to be sitting down and talking to Mike Yurigan, who is the GM of Golf Brevard. So that should be a good conversation. But before we get to that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the topic you brought to the table today. Do you want to go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, one of the things I've always done, again, having my junior program now for 30 years, and we've started a lot of young golfers. We started age 7 up to 18. So we've had a program that's started golfers with a game. Mm-hmm. When I have a lesson or I'm talking to someone, I'm always fascinated. The one question I always make sure to ask is, how did you start playing? Mm-hmm. And the answers are all over the board because, if you played baseball or soccer or football, we know where you started.
Yeah.
Pee Wee League, Little League, a YMCA league, a city league, so that's where everyone started with those sports. Golf is just really so different. It's people are all over the board. Mm-hmm. Well, I was 33 and a neighbor was playing golf and said, hey, why don't you go with me? And one day I started playing, and I think we need to get more and more into that. We can trace people starting golf back to when they were juniors, and I think they'd enjoy it a lot more. Mm-hmm. But it is fascinating to learn.
Yeah.
I've had people came to me and said, gee, I've got to learn how to play golf, or I'm going to fall behind business-wise with my competition. I need to get better at having an activity I can do with clients and potential clients. So all kinds of reasons to play golf.
Yeah.
But I think the bottom line, it has to get back to where you just need to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, all the other stuff is just added.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really, it's talking it. And I've always, and again, getting involved with so many beginners and trying to get parents to get started with their kids when they get in the programs, people are kind of intimidated by golf.
Yeah.
Because it's a foreign language. You know, you pull into the parking lot, it's like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah.
Do I need golf clubs? You know, how am I supposed to dress? How much does it cost? All of those things. It's really a challenge to get started in golf, and golf hasn't really been very good about, you know, breaking down those challenges. We haven't been good at offering information and opening the doors. I think golf's getting a little better, but still, we need to recognize that it's intimidating.
Yeah.
And anytime a golf course has a new golfer, someone needs to take the time to let them get comfortable with the situation, because that's what I've always tried to do with the kids.
Yeah.
Let them get comfortable so they show up and they know what to do, they know what's expected of them, and you don't feel like, oh my goodness, it's kind of awkward. I don't know what I'm doing, if I'm supposed to do it this way or that way. That's a big part of it. That allows you to relax and actually have some fun playing golf.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that and there's a lot of topics there. Basically, the way I try to educate people, everyone's, well, how expensive is golf? Actually, golf's probably cheaper today than it was 40 or 50 years ago. And that's hard to believe, but actually it is. I mean, you can find a golf course, you can go play 18 holes for $25.
Yeah.
Easily. Golf balls you can get 15 golf balls for $12.
Yeah.
So the big issue is when people are getting started, what golf clubs should I buy? And I always tell them, don't buy any. I have a couple of clubs you can work on your swing with. Give yourself some time. It's like, are you going to stick with it? How much do you want to play? I mean, you don't want to send someone out to spend $2,000 on golf clubs.
Yeah.
Because now they have sticker shock.
Yeah.
When actually, you can go to a garage sale or go online now. I mean, it's not even a garage sale necessary anymore.
Yeah.
And for $150, $200, you've got everything you need for the first couple of years going to play.
Yeah.
Until you figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things we can do better there. I also have an issue with golf instruction.
You have a lot of issues.
Golf courses, they funnel people in. It's like they want to sell that set of golf clubs off the rack. I understand that.
Yeah.
But we need to be more sensitive to the needs of the person getting started, instead of just latching onto them immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, let's support them. Let's get them involved. Let them decide. Golf instruction is kind of the same way. It's just teach people how to have fun first.
Yeah.
The first lesson should include giving them a tour of the clubhouse. Simple thing like show them where to go in the golf shop to check in. Let them know where, hey, over here's a grill or a dining room or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Get in a cart and take them out on the golf course. Go play the first hole with them, so they're comfortable, so they have a feeling of, gee, what are all of those little things on that over there that there's 2 blue ones and 2 red ones and 2 white ones. We don't realize they don't even understand what that means.
Yeah.
And we just make the assumption of like, oh, sure, go ahead and go play 3 or 4 holes.
Yeah.
They don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
In fact, it's just like, hey, go swing 4 or 5 times, pick it up and take it up and put it on the green and putt. Mm-hmm. Have some fun. Learn that way. So I think we can, and there are people around the country in the golf business doing that. I know they are, but probably not enough.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we need to open golf up to people and make it a lot easier for them. And what that requires, it's kind of like everything you do in life, is if you're capable of putting yourself in the other person's shoes and understanding how they're seeing it, you're much more effective in getting them involved.
Yeah.
And I think that's the approach we need to take, because it's there's a lot of reasons people come to a golf course to get started. In fact, I have a person coming in today that called and said, wow, I saw my neighbor playing golf and coming and going, and I asked him about it, and they said, you should try. So they called and said, how do I get started? So I talked to them. come over and just take a quick lesson. We'll show you how to get started.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a critical topic in golf. Everyone, you know, and I've spent most of my life teaching beginners because of the kids program, and yeah, I've worked with players of all level, but to be honest, I enjoy teaching a beginner a lot more than the really technical approach to, wow, how do I get from 72 to 69 or 68?
Or you get enough of that with me asking you questions.
Yes,
so.
that gets a little. Let's get to 78 first.
Yeah. Hey, I've gotten to 78. That's not fair. Don't do that to me.
But no, it's just, you know, the golf business right now. It's, you know, everyone's talking about, wow, the competition has kind of faded away for golf. So more people are playing golf again.
Yeah.
That's great for now, but when this is over, which hopefully it will be, you know, there's going to be the same competition. So you have to be better at what you're doing.
Yeah.
And to me, that's one of the ways to do it. It's like have a monthly get started class. You know, let them come out, let beginners come out, encourage them to come out, show them around, and let them have some fun. Because if you're not going to have fun on the golf course, I mean, even with the kids, we always tried to have games and contests for the kids so it was fun. Because if it's not, they're not going to show up again.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
So, you know, and on the backside of it, one of the things, you know, having always, you know, being raised in church and always being around church and programs and all of that, one of the things that's kind of funny that's comparable now that I see, you know, when I was a kid, kids went to church their parents went to. It's like, here's the church we're going to, you're going with us. What's happened is, and it's the transition of parenting now, and it's across the board. It's not just churches. You see it in other activities. And it's funny because I recognized it in golf a while back, is even for private clubs, parents want to go where their kids are going to enjoy it and get something out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what started happening in churches 20 years ago. And now I'm seeing at golf courses. And it's like golf courses who've learned to cater to the kids and have a quality program, they're now seeing that, wow, mom and dad want to join there. Mom and dad want to play golf there.
Yeah.
So it used to be the other way around. And I don't think golf courses have been really good at adapting to that and understanding that. Creating a quality program for the kids makes the golf course and your property much more attractive to the parents. So, and that's why I've always tried to incorporate in our junior program, I always tell parents, come out with them.
Yeah.
Hang out and watch, learn as they go. So you know how to do it too.
Yeah.
So there's some things there that, you know, I think we really need to pay a lot more attention to how we help people get started with golf, because it is kind of there's nothing else like it we do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like most other sports, there's similarities. Golf is kind of off here by its side.
Yeah.
So it's a little awkward.
Yeah.
So that's just something that I've started talking to people about and tried to share when I talk to golf courses. Make this a priority. Junior golf has always been an afterthought. Well, we have to have a kids program this summer. Well, who gets stuck with that? When actually it should be a highlight of your golf course.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know how you relate to that because you started very early.
Yeah.
Dragging you around golf courses, whether you wanted to or not. So, but no, that's, you know, and it's like you saw a lot of kids, your friends at times, you know, they got started in the program, and I've followed a couple of them on Facebook, and guess what? They're still playing golf.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat,
Yeah.
and they enjoy it. It's a fun activity for them now.
Yeah.
You know, all those kids that you played baseball with, they're not playing baseball anymore.
A couple of them are.
Well, not
Couple
very
of them are
many.
trying, yeah.
A couple of them shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Well, there's one or two that really get a kick out of it, and there are, you know, adult leagues, and that's fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like I see, you know, one or two of the they're not kids anymore, playing golf and getting together with their buddies and going to the golf course.
Yeah.
You know, what a great way to keep it going.
Yeah, it's something you can still do and still be kind of part of sports and stuff. Yeah. I was really worried that you weren't going to have much to say today, but you've obviously been storing all this up because that was good. No, it was good.
Did I ramble?
It wasn't a ramble. It was just a lot, but I do want to go back to what you were talking about with kind of getting kids started in it. And I think kind of one of the advantages, at least how I think of it, and kind of thinking about the difference in like when I was playing golf when I was younger and stuff, and now trying to get back into golf and just this past year and stuff. And I think kind of one thing that's kind of helped me this year is having that foundation, not just in knowing how to play golf, but knowing how to go to a golf course and do stuff like that. Because it's like, if you get a kid involved in it and a kid gets comfortable at a clubhouse and around a golf course, it's like, yeah, some kids are going to be naturally shy and stuff like that, but they don't have the kind of intimidation that a lot of kind of adults will have.
Right.
The kind of like embarrassment level of like, I don't want to go in there and make a fool of myself.
Right.
I don't know where I'm going. It's like, if you've been in a clubhouse, it's like most clubhouses are pretty similar.
Yeah.
It's
you still know what to do.
Yeah, you still know what to do.
Right.
It might be a brand new place. You might not know anyone, but you still have a little bit of that less of a hurdle to get over going to a golf course and kind of getting back into it. So
I can remember when I first started playing golf. First time I got to a golf course is because my dad started playing golf. He was probably 45 years old the first time. He had 3 or 4 clubs, and brother-in-law, they wanted to go out and play golf, and I was going to go with them. And it was like their second time, and I didn't go with them the first time. So we pulled in, and they kind of knew what to do. And it was a public golf course, so it wasn't like, ooh, big.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize until later in life that we were working class poor. When I look back, it's like, oh wow, we really were.
Yeah.
But you know, they played golf, and it was funny because my dad had talked to our neighbors across the street, and George said, well, we should start playing golf too. So we pulled in the parking lot, and we glanced over. There's George and his 2 sons sitting in their car. And we're getting out, and we're starting to walk up there, and we're looking back. They're still sitting in their car. And my brother-in-law said, I don't think they know what to do. And it's like, it was kind of odd. It's like, I don't either. But that's kind of, you know what I mean? That was kind of the scenario. Yeah. And it's still true today. If you've never played golf or been at a golf course, you pull in the parking lot out here. It's like, where do I go? What do I do?
Yeah.
You know, there's no instruction manual on how to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an issue. And that's why I tell everyone on every property I've ever been on running is, you watch for people. Your responsibility is to make them comfortable as soon as you see them. Yeah. Because that's what it's about. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. But you know, it only takes one or 2 times, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know my way around. This is pretty cool. It's pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. I think about that as in terms of when I was working in the service industry and stuff, and it's like, you always look for the people that pop their head in the door and they don't really know where to go, and you try to talk to them and funnel them one way, not only to be nice and make them feel comfortable, but it kind of keeps things moving along and everything. And it's like, it just runs a lot smoother when you have someone that can kind of not hover, but just be aware of what's going on. Because I think a lot of it too is like just thinking about like specifically like some older movies and stuff, and how golf was portrayed as like this stuffy country club, and it's like the second you pull up, everyone takes care of everything for you. It's like, that's not how golf courses are. It's like, that's the like idealized version of it.
There are a few of them.
Well, yeah. But
ones you'll never play.
If you're going to a golf course for the first time, you're not going to that golf course unless you have some very, very nice friends that want to take you, obviously.
And then there's always, you know, that one out of a million that walks in the door and they latch onto you and they're asking you every question, and it's like, oh my gosh, maybe you should play tennis. It's like, but that doesn't happen very often. Most people are a little timid when they first come to the golf course. Yeah.
Well, I think I just realized something that's quite unfortunate. One of their cameras just died, so this is going to be me talking, but it's going to be a video of you. But I think this is a good time to go ahead and transition into our interview with Mike. I know. I'm sorry. I can't control batteries.
The best part of the show.
It was at 100%. It was at 100%.
Whatever.
Yeah, we got most of it. So let's get into our interview with Mike Yurigan.
Joining me today is Mike Yurigan. Mike is the general manager of Golf Brevard. They've been functioning for, I think, almost 2 years now. Mike, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it for having me today.
We are in one of your golf shops today at Spessard Holland Golf Course because you are working on the golf course who shut down for the day.
Correct. We aerified the greens. This will be our last punch until next year, probably till May or June of next year. So we're ready for the wintertime, and it's an all-day process. But we do have new equipment that we will be doing in-house in the future, which we were contracting out before.
Well, and that's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about today, because how many times over the years has the golfer said to you, the greens were so nice, why are you messing them up?
Right.
So why don't you walk us through, first of all, what it is you're actually doing, and then try to explain a little bit so golfers understand why you're doing it.
Well, the best way to, I guess, describe it is what my father would have told me and other people in the community of the superintendents. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get the compaction out of the ground. With the greens over a period of time, the grass needs to be able to spread and cultivate new turf. So when you pull a plug out of the ground, what you're doing is you're giving the room for the other grass to grow, to cultivate it, and become stronger and healthier. It's like a competition with the grass. We want it to get more healthy, and it actually helps it to get more healthy.
And most golfers don't really even stop to think that, or even maybe be aware of, every morning there's a triplex riding back and forth across those greens,
Yep.
kind of that compaction.
And we notice that obviously after a rain in the morning, the next morning we go out, if we mow with the triplex, what we try to do at certain times of the year, if they do get soft because of weather conditions, we'll roll them with the new rollers that we have. The biggest thing is, yes, you put a triplex mower on there that weighs 500, 600, 700, 800 pounds. You're and a 200-pound man or woman. Obviously, no 200-pound women, but you know what I mean.
Can't believe you went there.
Yeah, we obviously you just add that to the equation. It's no different than top dressing the greens when you take the 4500. I'm sorry, not the 4500. The Workman across its four-wheel drive. It weighs 4,500 pounds. Now you put the top dresser on there. That's got sand in it. So now you got 10,000 pounds going over the green, and that's why years ago we used to walk around with a little hand top dresser, and it used to spin the sand out the back. And we actually, at one time when I was younger, my father had us throw the sand on the greens with shovels. If we asked the guys and the gals to do that today, we'd get run over.
You know, they're workers.
Everybody go home.
So for the golfers out there that really have no idea what it is, they've actually never actually, what is the equipment actually doing to the green? Because you talk about aerifying, some people call it punching or plugging it, spiking it, all kinds of things.
There are multiple size what's the word I'm looking for? I've lost
Tines.
it. Tines, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's been a rough week, but we're hanging in there. No, the tines that, they're solid tines where you can punch the material down into the ground, and then there's hollow tines where you can pull the material, the green, the dirt out of the ground, and that's what we have been doing to try to get some more. We want to put more soil amendments. We want to put different types of fertilizer and things into the green to keep them stimulated, growth, retardants, all the different things there are. So during the wintertime, it's called a pencil tine. It's literally the size of a pencil. It goes down 8 inches in the ground, and when we get compaction or dry weather, we can open it up and the grass, obviously when it's 50 degrees out, we don't want to do it too often, but at specific times in the winter, we'll do that. But in the summertime, literally it's pulling a plug of soil and grass off the top, pulling it out. We would either drag it. What we do right now, we had the gentleman's kid come by today. They scooped it up, and then we put some of those plugs in some bad areas on the golf course where you'll see, maybe a dried out area that we want to try to cultivate and get a little bit of that topsoil and the fertilizer that's in the ground. And that's generally what we're trying to do. We're just trying to give it's kind of like just giving a massage to the ground. It's the same thing we did with the tee boxes. We aerified, we verticutted where we spin the mower reels over top of the grass. It thins it out. Again, it's creating competition for the grass to grow and become stronger and healthier, where we don't have to put all the chemicals and fertilizer to get the weeds and all those different things that create the problems that we have.
Yeah, I've said it's almost like you can hear the greens sometimes. The ones that really need it, you can almost hear a sigh
Yes.
or like oh, that feels
Yeah.
better kind of thing.
And that's what happens when we drive the carts too close to the green when the wet time of the year, and now we get compaction, and then it dries up, and then all of a sudden now the grass is trying to get itself up and out where it can grow and get to the sunlight. So and that's why we're really a stickler on staying away from the greens as much as possible with the carts and the tees, because we all want to have good grass to chip when we do miss the green, obviously.
So what kind of schedule do you put the golf course in on? Because I know it's for golf play, this is a tough time because nobody wants to go out there and play after this because it takes, how long do you expect to take it for it to actually heal?
Well, you'll see a tremendous change in about 3 days where obviously it eat up pretty good. And then after 7 to 10 days, depending on conditions with the heat, rain, water, all the different things that can go along. But after that 10-day period, obviously that you really feel pretty good about the greens. Now, again, you could get you could get a disease, you could get the rain, your sunlight. All of a sudden now we've got a disease pop up. Now we're spraying it. Now we're a day behind. But generally, we're pretty fortunate in Florida this year for a change during the aerification, except for the one we did at Habitat. We actually did it in the rain, which is kind of not a very good idea.
Yeah.
But, and that schedule, in a 2-week period, from there before, you'll see every day it seems to get better, rolling. We might put a light top dressing after 7 to 10 days, depending on how much, maybe we got a rain and it washed out the sand we put on originally. Now there's another $500-600 worth of sand that costs per load to go ahead and do that again. So that expense can change from day to day just by the weather, conditions, all those different things that go, into that whole process. And that's why we've offered the 1991 special and the 1977 special here at Spessard at the 2 golf courses. We know that it's a rough time. We still want you to come out and enjoy the rest of the golf course, and you get to see in action exactly what it takes to keep the golf courses in the level that we want them to be in, and then that's top notch. We're not running for second place here.
Well, I know that's a huge complaint when a golfer shows up, pays his fees, goes out to the first green and finds out they just aerified and they didn't tell him, they didn't discount it. So yeah, that's a very reasonable approach. So it's like, hey, here's a heads up. Here's what we're doing. We're taking care of you.
And I think we've done a really good job of that. And Caleb, who's doing all our marketing and promotions, has done a great job getting that information out. Not everybody has emails. Not everybody's on Facebook and doing all those different things and sees those things. But, you just have to, in your mind, when you come to Florida in the summertime, call, let us know. We give you the nice rate that we're offering. Gives them, hey, let's go see what's going on at Spessard.
Right.
And we need their support, obviously, and we thank them tremendously. We've had our best August on record. We did over 5,000 rounds between the 2 golf courses. Almost 3,000 rounds at both golf courses. We're at around 5,600 rounds.
Wow, nice.
So it's been fantastic. The community has really stepped to help us out. Obviously, we want everybody to enjoy their round. With the pandemic that's going on, it's tough, and it's great to see that golf has been such a catalyst to get folks outside and playing, enjoying the 2 properties.
A little bounce back, yeah. There's been a lot of good stories about that. So now we understand why you do it and how you do it. How often do you have to do it?
Well, if you were a little bit of old school, you probably do it 4 times a summer. We do it twice a summer. And then we have the new Procore Pennsylvania in the wintertime. So you wouldn't even know if we did it in the wintertime unless we slightly top dress. But the private clubs will always regenerate the turf as much as they can because they want to be as healthy as possible in the wintertime. So they're anywhere from 3 to 4 times. 3 times would be great. But again, we're looking at the situation, cost, the effort that it takes on the staff. But eventually, since we've been in business for 2 years now, actually today is our anniversary date. We started 2 years ago exactly today, September 1st of 18. And, we have potential of redoing the greens at both properties down the road. We have some irrigation things that we want to do at Habitat. And those are not, those are $1 million propositions.
Right.
And so we have to be very smart and sensitive towards the golfer, but we also have to realize that, we've got to plan for our next 3, 4, 5 years on how we want, the courses to come about.
Good. Well, I think we've hopefully educated some golfers because to me, I think one of the best things you can do as a golf course is educate your golfers as to the process, what's going on, why you do something.
Right.
I think that helps get them on your side a little more instead of just showing up and it's like, oh, you ruined the greens again.
Yeah.
If they understand, they're going to appreciate that a little more.
Well, I think, and you have talked to me, and we've talked about this for over the years. And Gary wanted me to put a plug in. He said, we've got our 1991 special at Habitat. The golf course is in the greatest shape it's been in
all the way through
lives.
midnight tonight.
All the way, and Gary's like, this is a time for our locals and the people that are supporting us all year round to come out and take advantage of the 1991 special and 1977 special here. And, if everybody just played maybe 1 or 2 more rounds than they normally would at this time of year, that goes a long way for us. And that's where Gary wanted me to really push that, is that this is, and it is about our locals. We want to support them as much as possible because we don't know if our snowbirds are coming back and to help support us through the wintertime.
Right.
So there's a big challenge. We're doing our budget right now. I wish I could tell you that we could expect the same as we had last year, and that's a very difficult time. And we don't have our crystal ball with us to know that, and we just hope everyone continue to stay safe and be smart with what they're doing.
Well, and one of the reasons too is it's a unique situation with both of these golf courses because they're actually operated under a nonprofit, so that's unique. It's actually community participation as opposed to private ownership, so that's a little unique, but appreciate you sharing today with us. Folks, you probably just heard from one of the best in the business why you aerify and what it does for the golf course. So next time you stop out and you see some funky looking greens, know there's a reason for it. So thanks, Mike. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And I want to thank you and the staff and everyone that involved with Golf Brevard. We've done some really great things. We've got some great things planned for the future. Thank the county commission for giving us a chance, Parks and Recreation, and all our loyal golfers that have been out. It's been great.
You sound like a NASCAR driver. Thanking all the sponsors.
Well, I don't have my logos on. I have
on your shirt.
I have my special logo, but I was counting one of the golfers the other day, if you can believe this. They had 12 logos on their shirts and hats and everything, and I won't mention who it was, but obviously they're very popular when it comes to the advertisers.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, folks.
I want to say thank you again to Mike Yurigan for coming on the podcast today. It was great to have him on. For more information about Golf Brevard, you can go to brevard.golf. You can get tee times, membership information, current rates. They're doing a special throughout the month of September. So if you're in the Brevard County area and want to check out 2 of the best golf courses in the county, go check them out. I love playing out here at Spessard. Habitat's awesome too. Great places to play golf. But for us, this has been another episode of I Hate Golf, It's Awesome. For more information about Eek Golf, go to eek.golf. Follow us on social media at Eek Golf. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening or watching this. Just give us a subscribe so you can stay up to date with what we're doing. For now, this has been I Hate Golf, It's Awesome, and we'll see you next week.